By his parents, Joe and Michelle Johnson. And as well, next is Brendan Johnson, also representative of Joe and Michelle Johnson. Complete the family. Next is Jade Gaddis. She is represented.
That's right, the champs are back, alive and well for all to see. Steady striving to be better, it's Kaizen tenacity. Daily grind is steady flying, that black flag mentality. Then again, what you expecting from the boys is from the G. Walk his path, built to last, it's our proven tendency that we always wanna follow with sincere integrity. Daily implementing, practicing our PRIDE. When we do it, then we do it to you conscientiously. We gonna bring an army and they gonna bring the pride. Never what but what we do is seeking him to be our guide. Ain't no mystery, our history won't tell you any lies. Cause this legacy we live in, we the yeah. Front light, spotlight, see the G, gotta be legacy. You already? Look around G-Town, lockdown, you know we gotta rock. What it means, what it seems, what the dreams like, teams like, things you hear about to get. Bring a game, let the chains do the same, make it rain like. We're not pulling punches, points will come in bunches. Take you down to Juicy's and we'll show you where our lunch is. Century of grinding, looking you'll be finding him, yeah we them, just in case you need reminding. We some ballaholics, explode like we atomic. We eatin' till we make the future metabolic. Ride until we die with but got pride, it's a must. Endless love from above and God we trust. We gonna bring an army and they gonna bring the pride. Never what but what we do is seeking him to be our guide. Ain't no mystery, our history won't tell you any lies. Cause this legacy we live in, we the Buckeyes.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Jeff Traylor Stadium and senior night here as your Gilmer Buckeyes get ready for the playoffs in the final district game of the season against the winless North Lamar Panthers. I'm Todd Robinson. I'm your host of tonight's pregame show. Want to first and foremost thank all of our sponsors, Darcy and Young, who have been our sponsor here. We'll call them our premier sponsor for pretty much everything that happens in the Gilmer Independent School District. We appreciate them so much. And also a special recognition out to the state champion Gilmer Buckeye Band. We will have a special presentation for them tonight at halftime, so tune in for that. We will have a couple of interesting things happen tonight. First and foremost, when you look across the way, it doesn't look like the game started yet. One of the reasons there is because we had word that the North Lamar band bus broke down. They will be arriving about midway through the second quarter, we are told. Our senior activities are done, and the Buckeyes are getting ready to come on the field. So we are going to recognize a few of our sponsors to start tonight and come back to get the players onto the field and start tonight's game. We'll be right back after these messages.
Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
Since 1900, our customers have relied on and placed their trust in First National Bank of East Texas. Today, we remain committed to earning that trust and serving the needs of families and businesses throughout East Texas. Because time never stands still, you can depend on us to meet the changing needs of future generations for the next 125 years. You can bank on that. First National Bank of East Texas.
There's a real advantage to being a Gilmer National Bank customer. From the low fees on commercial loans and the hassle-free process and ease of local decisions. If you appreciate personal service and great savings rates, no matter what your age, come see us today in Gilmer or Longview, where the pace is a little slower and the smiles a little brighter. Because we want to hear you say,
Gilmer National Bank, that's my bank.
Gilmer National Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
For nearly 150 years, Crowley Funeral Home has offered the highest quality in funeral services to the families of Upshur County for a fair and reasonable price. Led by Gilmer graduate Troy Murray, our staff stands ready at all times to tenderly guide your family in their time of need in all aspects of funeral planning, such as pre-need and at-need, and all types of services from cremation and memorial services to traditional funerals, with attention to every detail. At Crowley Funeral Home, we've been treating families as our own since 1883.
At Farmers Insurance, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a rock and wreck. Yeah! He rocked and rolled right into it, but we covered it. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
When tragedy strikes, you don't want to be in a position where you're second-guessing your lawyer's ability or the resolve to get you fairly compensated. When you hire Godarzi & Young, you know you're hiring a law firm that has nationally ranked settlements and verdicts. We have over 2 decades of experience holding 18-wheeler companies accountable for their negligent action. Don't make the mistake of hiring anybody else. Hire the best. Hire Godarzi & Young.
Chad Burkhalter and Gary Vestal are your Gilmer Edward Jones financial advisors. We're all about financial investments, but we also value the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why Chad and Gary are proud sponsors of our state champion Gilmer Buckeyes. Call 843-2023 or 843-5794 or visit edwardjones.com for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Banking the Texas way, with strength, trust, and hometown pride. Deposits that work harder, backed by neighbors who care. Your hometown bank is right here in Gilmer, Texas, 795 Highway 271 North. Texas Heritage National Bank, member FDIC.
Need an oil change? Try the new Buckeye Express Lube, 1 mile from Gilmer on Highway 300. Oil and filter changes, fluid top-offs, multi-point inspections, and tire rotation and repair are just a few of the services they offer. Best of all, you can watch TV and enjoy a complimentary snack while you wait. Jason Horton, a former Marine, thank you for your service, has over 30 years of experience in the business and guarantees the best service in town. Next time you need an oil change, think Buckeye Express Lube on Highway 300.
And welcome back to Jeff Traylor Stadium and senior night here, where once again your Gilmer Buckeyes get ready to take on the winless North Lamar Panthers in the last district game of the season. We have the teams on the field, and your state champion Gilmer Buckeye band will perform the national anthem.
Tonight's presentation of colors will be led by the Air Force Junior ROTC from Gilmer High School. Representing the U.S. Guard, John Hildebrand. Representing the U.S. flag, Daniel Gorcieta. Representing the Texas flag, Mia Guerrero. Representing the Buckeye flag, Jana Rucker. Representing the black flag, Jet Bates. Representing the BF Guard, Uriel Santiago, and tonight's cadence master, Hunter Bergstresser. And now we turn to a senior night tradition. The senior members of the Buckeye Band are gathered on the G at midfield for our Star Spangled Banner. We now turn it over to our on-field director, Mr. Brandon Garland.
Oh, how about that? Seniors from the state champion Gilmer Buckeye Band. That sounds good to say, Todd.
Well, we're only going to say it 6,429 more times tonight.
I'm gonna be saying that all night. That's awesome.
Well, we've got a special presentation. Obviously, here around Jeff Traylor Stadium, we've got all of our state championship recognition signs that we're kind of running out of room, I'm happy to say. I guess we can stack them double-decker here as we enter a new decade coming up. But we will be unveiling our first state championship sign for the Gilmer Buckeye Band. That will be at halftime, a special moment there that we will have. And, Jeff, this is the time of year that the real Buckeyes show up. We talked about it during the coaches' show with Coach Metzel, the method to the madness, if you will, we always talk about. He schedules the SEC West for preseason for the Buckeyes. Lots of injuries, looking at number 65 that's a big chance that was our starting center coming into the season, broke his leg in warm-ups in Pine Tree in the very first game. Here we are 11 weeks later, and he may be back basically next week. So finally, 11 weeks in, as we have this tune-up game, I'm going to call it, as the winless Lamar Panthers come into tonight's contest, we're pretty much already set as the Buckeyes being the third-place team. Need to take care of business tonight, but tonight is the Buckeyes against the Buckeyes. Last opportunity for these seniors to play here on their home field in Jeff Traylor Stadium, and obviously they are fired up. But I tell you, I said it to Alan last week as we saw the Buckeyes score on 3 of the first 5 plays, not possessions, plays that they had the ball. And in this case, the Buckeyes are getting to that point where they're starting to play their best football. Long way from having peaked. But if you can watch them put it together, everything comes down to probably what will be the Athens Hornets next week, 7:30 in Henderson, Texas. And that will be very telling. This group, dare I say, starts to remind me of the 2023 group in terms of how they're entering the playoffs and peaking at the right time.
Yeah, that's so true. And this has been a tough season, obviously, for the Buckeyes. All year this year, it has been it's very rare that you see a record like this from the Buckeyes. And you said it best. He scheduled such a tough opponents. And not only were they tough opponents, but they were some of the best they've been, as far as level of talent. I mean, they would have given any Buckeye team we've had, even just the last state championship group that we had a couple of years ago, they would have gave each one of those teams would have gave those teams a run for their money. And so it's kind of one of those years that you just kind of want to say, all right, let's regroup. We got a young team. A lot of these guys are going to come back. And I'll remind fans that not one single offensive player on this Buckeye team coming into this year played last year, were starters last year. It was 11 brand new guys. So
crazy.
Been a tough year, but Buckeyes, like Buckeyes do, they've championed their way through it. Got a pooch kick hitting the ground around the 32-yard line, and the Buckeyes are on that immediately. I want to say how sorry I am. I apologize to the fans. I've been out for a few weeks. Work trips, hunting trips, taking my wife wherever she wants to go. It just kind of gets in the way of football sometimes. So I haven't ever missed that much football, but I'm glad to be back tonight. And hopefully we have our faithful listeners online tonight listening for this Buckeye win tonight. 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. North Lamar has the ball. They're going to go into a shotgun formation with one back in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And here's the opening snap, handoff around the left side. Had a big hole, but it closed pretty quickly. Back gets all the way out to the 39-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 5 yards. And if you're North Lamar, you're happy with 5 yards on first down.
Absolutely. And they are a very, very tough, hard-nosed football team. You can tell, Jeff, they only suit up about 25. So they are a scrappy group, and they've hung in there. They have not won a football game all season long, but they're still here and fighting hard. But some good athletes over there on that football team, starting with their quarterback, number 15. We'll call his number. They have also the big running back, number 6 there that you see. So it's not that they're not a skilled team. It's just that they've just been very, very overmatched pretty much all year.
Yeah, another handoff, same play. This time we've got probably, maybe you got back to the line of scrimmage there. It's going to bring up 3rd down, and And as tradition would have it, Hagler's helmet flies off. We got to have at least 2 of those per game.
I forgot the duct tape already for Big Tyler's helmet. 3rd down and 5. A good opportunity for the Buckeyes to get off the field right here and start this game off right. And, Jeff, we talked about it during the coach's show and with Coach Metzel. For the first time, we're getting guys healthy. 3 weeks ago, we had 15 guys out with injuries, which forced us to play a lot of really, really young guys. And not only were they playing, they're playing in different spots. So this team really hitting their stride right at the right time as the playoffs near.
All right, heavy pressure from the Buckeyes, and they are going to sack him hard on the 30-yard line. And that was number 30 coming through to bust it up. That was Austin Blakely. You're going to hear his name a lot over the next few years. He has been an outstanding defensive player this year as a sophomore. So we got 2 more years on his contract with the Buckeyes.
Yeah, there are a lot of young sophomores that aren't sophomores anymore, Jeff. After game 10 in the season, they are pretty seasoned veterans. So we took our lumps early, but next week when the calendar rolls over, it's 0-0, advance, win or go home. And the only game that matters is the game that they're playing in. Gage Trosbach back to return this punt, which takes a really big Buckeye hop. And the Buckeyes going to start great field position, 1st and 10 from their own 49.
Yeah, good field position as the Buckeye offensive unit comes on. I look for them to score pretty quick. You mentioned last week, Todd, 3 scores in 5 plays, not 5 possessions, but 5 plays. And I look for them to do something similar to that tonight.
Yeah, that was against a much, much improved Spring Hill Panther team who really put up a good fight playing that option football. But the offense for the Buckeyes really starting to click now. As they're just trying to get into execution mode here tonight and quad set formation right out of the box. Let's see what they do here.
Here's the snap, drop back, look at the pass to his left side, dumps it downfield, almost picked off an opportunity. Good defense there by North Lamar. That ball's going to fall incomplete, bring up 2nd and 10 from the 50. Buckeyes got a good spot a while ago.
Yeah, probably already in 4-down territory, Jeff, just shy of midfield. Put everybody on one side and then try to get a one-on-one coverage over there with Gage Trosbach. And lots of green grass in front of really one of the best running quarterbacks in 4A in Zay Taylor. And they'll encourage him to do that.
Handoff around the right side, number 17, Jackson. And look at that defensive play there by North Lamar. Meets him in the backfield, drops him for a loss of 3. That's going to bring up 3rd and 13 for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, Solly also getting over really kind of an ankle injury. He had really a breakout game against the Van Vandals and then kind of disappeared for a week. There was a reason for that. It's because he really had a sprained ankle, kind of getting his legs back under him now. And as we said, this is a real tune-up game. 3rd down and 12. Big down here for the Buckeyes.
3rd and 12. Here's the snap, dropping back. Heavy pressure up the middle. Fires one across the middle, complete to number 12, Haynes. And Haynes will take that one all the way to the house on 3rd and 12. And, Todd, this is just going to be a good opportunity tonight for the Buckeyes to really kind of work some things out on the offensive side of the ball and get ready for that first playoff game next week against a very, very talented Athens football team.
Yeah, they are very talented. And, Jeff, in preparation, kind of as a sneak preview for that game, excellent quarterback, excellent throwing the football. I expect a real fireworks show there in Henderson next Friday night at 7:30. Need the Buckeye Army to turn out for that as we come in for the extra point. But that is one of the toughest first game matchups anywhere in the state. The winner of that game really has an excellent path laid out all the way to the winner of between Carthage and Pleasant Grove, just like the 2023 Buckeyes were. So we're going to have our work cut out for us in the first by-district game as that kick is up and good. 8:41 left to play in the first quarter. Buckeyes lead 7-0, and they are starting to hit their stride, Jeff. So let's recognize a few of our sponsors and come back right after this.
It's gonna be
Juicy's Burgers, serving you for over 40 years.
back to the action after the Buckeye black flag defense has a 3-and-out and then turns around and in 3 plays scores from 52 yards away from Zayd Taylor to Trace Haynes. Touchdown pass, 7-0 Buckeyes lead over North Lamar. Getting ready to kick off here for the second time.
All right, here comes the kickoff. Buckeyes got it on the board quickly. 8:41 left to play in the first quarter, already on the board. Here's a little longer kick, this time fielded on the 20-yard line. Return down the right side, Buckeyes can meet him at about the 30, 31. And so they're going to take over basically close to the same field position they started with on that first possession. So let's see if North Lamar can move the football this time against a very talented Buckeye defense.
Yeah, with finally everybody on the right seats on the bus and healthy enough to kind of roll into next week. And we're going to need everybody next week, Jeff. It's going to be really 2 of the best teams. I would say 2 of the best 5 teams in the state of Texas meeting in a bi-district contest. Athens was the number 2 team, played Carthage to within a touchdown. And, of course, Carthage is the number 1 ranked team in the state. So the Buckeyes being placed as the 3rd-place team will draw Athens to start as the Buckeyes managed to tackle that behind the line of scrimmage, bring up 2nd and 11 for North Lamar.
Yeah, met as soon as they got to the line of scrimmage there. That big defensive front for the Buckeyes that's played well all year this year.
Finally getting some guys back healthy. Buchanan and some of the other guys that were hurt early in the year now starting to kind of fill in and round out into game shape. That's really what this game is for, is a tune-up game. Coach Metzel and the entire coaching staff preaching all week, it's not Gilmer versus North Lamar, it's Gilmer versus the Buckeyes. And let's go execute, play well, and get ourselves ready for the playoffs.
All right, from the shotgun, here comes the snap. Handoff, fakes the handoff. Pass almost picked off. I mean, that was right. I thought if he would have caught that, that was number 18, Trostbach, and had he caught that, he might have put 6 on the board.
Yeah, he just didn't see it. Good read, actually, by the quarterback. Ector, number 1, came on a late blitz off the corner, and so he went to his hot read. Unfortunately, his hot read didn't have his head turned. Bring up 3rd and 11 now as the Buckeyes' opportunity for 2 straight 3-and-outs on this play.
All right, here's your snap. Quarterback drops back, fires it downfield.
And a flag.
And a flag on the play.
Bailed out totally.
Yeah, that was going to bring up 4th and 11. That's going to be an automatic first down. They're going to call that interference.
Yeah, I think that was going to be against number 14, the safety. That's Johnson on the coverage. We'll see the replay here, as it was a bailout call.
Yeah, they're calling that on 27.
Yeah, that's on our corner that got in his way and jumped the route thinking that it was going to be a hot route, but he had to run right through him. Good play by the receiver to keep running and draw that flag. Gets the first down of the night for North Lamar. Brings the ball all the way out to the North Lamar 45-yard, almost the 45-yard line. Got that spotted between the 44 and the 45. 1st and 10 for North Lamar.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 45. Lamar in the shotgun. 3 receivers left, 1 right. High snap, pulls it down, handoff, and no place to go. Going to lose a couple of yards. On that one, they're going to say he lost 1 with his forward progress.
Yeah, it almost looked like the running back right there said, don't give me the ball, because he ran straight into big Tyler Hagler, right into his chest as soon as he got the handoff. Gave him a generous spot with a loss of 1, because I'm not sure that he got more than one real stride out of his stance before he was wearing number 54 in black and orange. 2nd down and 11 now. Lamar kind of having a problem getting any kind of momentum going forward. Down 7-0 with 7:02 left, half the first quarter gone. The black flag defense out for their 2nd possession.
Quarterback dropping back. Tried a little short out route from the inside receiver, and that is going to fall incomplete. Austin,
and I'll brag
on the defensive.
I'll brag on Zay Johnson there, another sophomore, and he's growing, number 14. He really is starting to look like, kind of some of these safeties hurt, and Fluellen and some of these Buckeye safeties. Youngster, he was raised as a quarterback, but he broke his thumb coming into the season. Has kind of played with a cast on all year, but he's burgeoning a star for the Buckeyes on defense.
All right, attempted screen pass by North Lamar on 3rd and 11 falls incomplete. That is going to bring up 4th and 11 and force another punt. So going back deep for the Buckeyes, number 19, that is McDonald. And he's going to go back, see if he can't run one back to the house.
I think that's 18, Jeff. I think that's Trostbach.
Oh, is that Trostbach back there?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see the
that is Trostbach.
The numbers, yep. Sending it his own 30. See if they can get it that far.
Yeah, he's got a good foot. And kicks it out of bounds. And they're going to spot that generously at the 20. Nope, he's going to move up. Yeah, that's what I saw too. I thought that was really generous. They were going to put the ball back in the 25, and it actually went out at the 34.
Yeah, it's hard for us to see from that angle because he obviously kicked it out of bounds trying to eliminate the return, and he did. But in so doing, gave the Buckeyes a really good field position. 1st and 10 Buckeyes from their own 34, so they are 66 yards away from pay dirt. It took them 3 plays to score the last time. Let's see what the offense does in this possession.
All right, got a tight set from the Buckeyes from the shotgun. Here's the snap. Hand off to Horn, left side, bounces outside, picks up the first down. Scampers down the sideline, one man to beat, and they're going to drag him down at the 25-yard line of North Lamar. Nice run there by Horn. His first carry of the night. You can watch him. He steps up, bounces out, plants that foot, bounces out to the left side. And then down the sideline he goes. He's got one guy to beat there. Number 2 just gets a hand on him. And he still picks up another 10 even after they got their hands on him. And that is going to be a holding call against number 18 for the Buckeyes. That is McDonald.
No, that's
Excuse me. That's Trostbach.
He was out on the edge trying to block downfield, but it's still going to be a first down because that call was probably made at the 40-yard line of North Lamar.
Yeah, it's going to be a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 45 of the Buckeyes. So they're just going to get to try that again.
Tavion Horn, we talked about it, 5 touchdowns last week, Jeff. Joe Dodd telling us to join the list of about a dozen Buckeyes, about 6 of them played in the NFL, that have scored 5 touchdowns. And 6 is the record with only 2 Buckeyes in history that have ever scored 6 touchdowns in a game. He may get that one by the time it's all over.
All right, they launched this one down the sideline. And
caught. Oh,
that
my
has
goodness.
got to be interference. It is.
Yes.
I mean, he was all in his face, and so the ref had a hard time finding his flag for a moment, but
we'll see the replay.
Clearly
here.
interference.
Yeah, he almost caught this ball.
Yeah,
Jeff.
he did. I thought he rolled it in. Yeah.
Broke it up right in the end. Of course, that's 6, the running back. He plays both ways, as a lot of these North Lamar Panthers really do. Only 25 guys suited out. And
it's been a rough season for those guys.
It's been a rough season.
0-9, it's hard to come to Gilmer Stadium, with when you're 0-9. That's tough.
Yeah, and they've had 5 head coaches in the last 6 years. So that program kind of trying to get up on its feet.
Yep. All right, they quick pass out number 17. Scampers out of a tackle down the sideline and finally out of bounds around the 22.
Yeah, Solly Jackson's ankle's doing okay. So,
yeah, he looked like he did with that spin move.
Yeah, watch him make the first man miss. That's his job. And this is basically the Buckeyes' version of a sweep play. Puts his man on skates on number 10, ducks inside of the linebacker, and then picks up a quick 12 yards. 1st and 10 Buckeyes at the 25, knocking on the door of the red zone. Injury there is number 58 comes out.
Yeah, that's Michael Hudson limping off the field. He'll be back, I'm sure, shortly. Going for the end zone, and that is going to fall incomplete. No flags.
Yeah, taking a shot there from the 25. And just trying to get some work and some confidence there. Of course, Trace Haynes is kind of the let's call it the deep threat receiver. You've got Gage Trostbach at the top of your screen there with Solly Jackson, and then Tavion Horn. A very, very skilled complement of Buckeyes now from the quarterback position, the receivers, and the running game.
Dropping back to pass, got a little out route over here to Jackson. And Jackson picks up the first down plus 3. 13-yard gain. That's going to bring up first down for the Buckeyes. Nice catch there by Jackson. He has really developed into quite the receiver.
Yeah, he is Coach Beal, our defensive coordinator for so many years, Jeff. When we played for the Buckeyes, his grandson, and he reminds me of his Uncle Kenneth. We call him Cat. He is cat quick, explosive. He can change direction quicker than your wife can change your mind. And he is, I'm glad that we've got him in orange and black healthy.
Rolling to his right, picked up, look at that big hit there as he rolls into the end zone. That is number 30, Austin Blakely. And we talked about him earlier on the defensive side of the ball, but he's also a threat offensively. And that guy's going to be fun to watch over the next couple of years.
Yeah, young sophomore. He dropped this exact same route last week right at the goal line. It was just disgusted with himself.
Well, there's his chance at redemption right there.
He delivers on that play as the Buckeyes go for 2, and they pick it up. And this is going to stretch the score to 15-0. Buckeyes lead with 5:20 left in the first quarter. They're doing exactly what they wanted to do here tonight. And they will kind of put things on cruise control and try to sharpen everything up. We'll recognize a few more of our sponsors and come right back right after this.
La Finca Mexican restaurant is my favorite restaurant in the world. An East Texas favorite for over 37 years. Everyone with any taste agrees La Finca has the best Mexican food in Texas. But I want to share some of my personal favorites with you that maybe you haven't tried yet. Dina and I both love the ribeye steaks at La Finca. Ribeye steak and a baked potato, you can't go wrong. And if you happen to be a hamburger connoisseur, La Finca has one of the biggest and best hamburgers in town. Absolutely fantastic. And finally, never, and I mean never, leave La Finca without having a slice of Olga's homemade carrot cake or tres leche cake. Trust me, it'll change your life forever. La Finca, supporting the Gilmer Buckeyes for over 37 years.
Oh, I love La Finca. I've been gone 2 weeks. Drove into town today. Where did I go first?
Straight to
La Finca. I got an IV of queso stuck in my arm. It was a great day. Here's a high pooch kick to the right side. Fielded on the 29-yard line. Returning up the middle. Nice return all the way out to the 37.
Really been a point of emphasis for the Buckeyes. That is the kickoff team, gone to a 2-kicker look so that we can disguise some things and really trying to kick to green grass. And those young kickers doing a better and better job and getting some of our more skilled starters to cover those kicks as we get ready for playoffs. That is something that was exposed as Coach Metzel purposefully does to try to expose as many of the problem areas as early as possible. The only problem is, Jeff, we're doing it against the Kilgores and the Lindells and the Vans of the world. So exposure is not a pleasant experience, but these Buckeyes, nobody wants to see us coming right now.
All right, handoff and going to be tackled in the backfield. Loss of about 4. And North Lamar just, bless their hearts, they just cannot get anything going against this Buckeye defense. Just a wall up front that's a little too insurmountable.
Yeah, that's big Taj Bush. We got healthy back to add some depth to the defensive line with 44, Davion King, also just a junior. So it is an exciting future, not just for next year, but just going into the playoffs. Like I said, nobody wants to see a healthy, clicking all cylinders Gilmer Buckeyes come at them in the playoffs. We're going to have our work cut out for us in round 1, but if we get by Athens, Jeff, look out.
All right, here's the snap. Quick pitch, and it is fumbled. Buckeyes pick it up, and the Buckeyes will take over 1st and 10 on the North Lamar 22-yard line. Todd, have I mentioned that the Gilmer Buckeye Band is a state championship band?
State champions.
First in the state.
Now, they were out here warming up earlier for the halftime show, which is going to be a kind of a special presentation. And I got here early at 4 o'clock so I could play We Are the Champions as they exit the field. And they got excited about that. And we'll have an unveiling of our new state championship sign. And so proud of those guys over the past 4 years. You look at Eric Gray and Brandon Garman and their staff and the job that they've done really over the last 5-6 years. They just went and got a state championship. It is an exciting time in Gilmer if you are in the music department.
All right, here's the snap. Handoff. Number 21 around the left side. Look at the wheels on this guy. Comes around the corner and runs out of bounds inside the 10. Of course, number 21 is Thomas. He's a junior, so he's going to be back next year, and this guy's got some wheels on him.
Yeah, Aiden Thomas is our backup running back, if you want to call him that. We've got a flag down. We got a hold. So that will bring that big gain back, but you can see Thomas puts that on film and kind of says, look, 6 Tavion Horn's not the only guy in our backfield. As the plethora of riches for the Buckeyes traditionally continues at running back, Keith Tate, year after year after year, has produced some of the most substantial talent from the running back position that any state program or national program, for that matter, has ever seen. And you're talking about guys, all the way back from, Justin Johnson, All-American. And then you look at Gus Johnson, who was the all-time leading rusher for Stephen F. Austin, played 3 years in the league. Then you look just recently at guys like Ashton Haynes, who are now fixing to make the jump from JUCO to go play big-time D1. Will Henderson, who obviously was the MVP of the state, and the list just kind of goes on and on. It's never just one. It's 2, 3, and 4. And as you start getting into the second half of this game and starting to see some of the younger guys come in at the running back position, you kind of go, wow, it is a good time to be in business if you are the Gilmer Buckeyes running backs coach, and nobody's done it better than Keith Tate's done it for almost 30 years now.
Yeah, it's hard to believe he's been here that long. Quick pass complete to number 17, Jackson. Look at him scamper down the sideline, and Jackson is going to take that one all the way in for a touchdown.
That's just not fair to try to tackle Solly Jackson in space, and he really is a talented dude. And nothing wrong with that ankle right here. You get Gage Trosbach, a good setup block out there, keep 6 off of him just enough, and he outruns the safety and takes it in for the score for the third time tonight. 21-0 with extra point left to come. Still 3:58. Jeff, Joe and I talked about it last week, is that it's been a long time since you looked up and saw 3+ touchdowns on the scoreboard in the first quarter. But the Buckeyes now for 2 straight weeks in a row have done exactly that. 3:58 left in the first quarter, 22-0 Buckeyes rolling. We'll be right back after these messages.
Feeling under the weather, Buckeye fans? Come on down to Core Health Systems at Community Health Core, 101 West Madison Street in Gilmer. No appointment needed. Our walk-in clinic is ready to get you back in the game. Call 903-843-5518 today. Your health is our priority.
Back to Jeff Traylor Stadium, 22-0 your score already as the Gilmer Buckeyes touch it 3 times, 3 touchdowns. 3:58 left to play here, still in the first quarter. And Jeff, this is kind of what we anticipated for the Buckeyes tune-up, and they are, as expected, just rolling on both sides of the ball. And like I said, nobody wants to see this team in orange and black here tonight coming at them during the playoffs.
Onside kick, and it is caught at the 45-yard line. So good field position there for North Lamar. And
yeah,
you can
I
see
think that was a miss kick, Jeff. I'm not sure that was totally purposeful. I think he meant to pooch kick it, but I don't think he meant to pooch kick it 10 yards. Might as well go ahead and kick the onside kick and kick it on the ground. That was just kind of a little infield pop fly.
All right, 1st and 10 for North Lamar. They're going to come out, same set, 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. 1 back in the backfield. They really haven't been able to find anything that works against this Buckeye defense. I don't believe they have a completion yet in this game. Fires one across the middle, and a great job there defensively. Number 9 just strips the ball out. That is Davenport, who reaches in, and the receiver I thought had a catch there, and Davin just rips it out of there.
Yeah, and boy, let me tell you something, folks. Next week, this secondary is going to get a workout. I mean a workout, because the Athens Hornets sling it around like you think it's old Jeff Traylor days in terms of how they throw the football around. And you see the Buckeye defense trying to get pressure. Big Ismail Kamara in now on the defensive side of the ball with 44. That's a lot of humanity coming at this offensive line.
Rolling to the right side, heavy pressure, and they're going to throw that one away. 3rd and 10 for North Lamar. Ball still at 45.
So you really got a choice against Athens next week. If you can get pressure with 4, and that means that you can cover with 7, we really got a chance. But we've got to keep them on the field or off the field from these third downs. Getting Athens next week into third and long and then getting them off the field is going to be key. And then execution on offense. And the Buckeyes really have a good chance not only to win their first district by-district championship. Caught pass there for a first down.
First completion of the night. 12-yard gain. Nice pass. Good route. And that'll be the first completion of the night for North Lamar here in Jeff Traylor Stadium.
Yeah, he just threw it to a spot, and 10 went and got the ball. Good play there against the zone defense. But that's the zone that you're going to see next week against Athens, Jeff, is try to keep everything in front of them and try to get pressure on the quarterback with just 4 guys. And that daunted, coming into the season anyway, a defensive line. You've seen a few blitzes tonight, and the Buckeyes will dial that up. But you've just got to execute and keep from getting burned on the big play. And that's really what it's going to come down to. I mean, next week, I'm telling you, folks, get out to Henderson. 7:30 start next week as the Buckeyes are going to be taking on the Athens Hornets. And it will be one of the better games in the entire state of Texas, not just 4A, but all together, as you're going to see 2 of probably the top 5, definitely the top 10 teams that are going to be battling it out in by-district, because the Buckeyes, as the third-place team, Athens, great team, but they've had to play Carthage. And they played Carthage to a touchdown early in the season. They are a good squad, and it is going to be a real battle.
Handoff bounces out to the left side and gets some positive yards as the Buckeye defense swarms. That is a nice 7-yard run by North Lamar, one of their best runs of the night, actually.
Yeah, that was a great call, Jeff, because they ran exactly opposite of the Buckeye blitz that came over the left side behind Big 44 and 72 that are out there getting huge push from the left-hand side, and they just handed, and he ran right where all the Buckeyes weren't. Just an excellent play call from upstairs gives North Lamar a chance here with 3rd down and 4 to go. Probably 4-down territory, trailing 22-0 here late in this first quarter. Buckeyes need a big tackle for a loss right here.
All right, 3rd and 4. Heavy pressure.
Intercepted.
And it is intercepted by the Buckeyes. Number 14 came down with it. There's Johnson.
Zay Johnson. And we just bragged on him. He had played the entire district schedule basically with a club on his right hand because he broke his thumb. And that is the young sophomore we keep talking about. And he is going to be making some noise, Jeff. Not only is he got that kind of feel you remember when young Hurt, was playing that safety position as a sophomore and led the state in interceptions. And he has that same nose for the football. Reminds you of Fluellen as well. And those are some good names to remind you of.
Quarterback keeper going to be dropped for a loss of 3.
Yeah, that is an RPO play that doesn't really mesh there for Zay Taylor as the quarterback. He's making better and better decisions, but just missed the read on that one. That probably was a give on the RPO, and he kind of predetermined that and kept it. Wound up getting a loss of about 3 on the play.
All right, here's the snap, fakes a handoff, dumps it out once again to the outside, and down the field for a 16-yard gain is number 18, Trossbach.
Moving the chains. Great individual effort there by Gage. Caught his first touchdown last week, and Joe Dodd couldn't believe it. He's like, hey, doesn't he have 3 or 4 touchdowns already? No, he didn't. He had a lot of big catches so far just as a sophomore, but he's going to be a D1 talent, Jeff, just a matter of time. And here he's going to get a carry again.
Around the right side, a lot of green grass. Can he get there? And he fights for extra yards and gets out to about the 46-yard line of North Lamar.
Almost moving the chains there. 2nd and 1. Probably a shot down in distance here. See if the Buckeyes take a shot down the field. 2nd and 1 and definitely 4-down territory. And Gage is out there to the left-hand side with Solly in man-to-man coverage. Let's see if they go to him again.
Two receivers to the left, 2 to the right, 1 back. Here's the snap. Fakes a handoff, dumps one over the middle. Number 17 makes a good spin move, but loses his feet. Nice 20-yard gain and a first down.
That was the Top Gun move, Jeff, where you can run in watch Solly here, setting his man up. He stems his route, puts his foot in the ground, and he's just going to hit the brakes, and he'll fly right by. Makes the inside move. If he'd have kept his feet there, that would have been a highlight reel. But that is a difficult little pirouette, stopping on a dime after full blast to make. But does pick up the first down, move the chains for the Buckeyes inside the 30.
2 receivers left and right. Here's the snap. I thought he handed it off for a moment, and he tried to throw it. Dangerous pass there. But gets rid of the ball as he turned around and had 2 defenders in his face.
Yeah, he went out to the replay. This is the second time was an RPO where you see that give.
Yeah.
And he'd given it right there.
Yeah, if he'd have given it right there, number 21.
Thomas probably scores a touchdown as Ismail Kamara kind of opened that lane, and you see what Van Song did. As the first quarter ends, so does the tune-up for the first quarter. Buckeyes lead 22-0, but marching here to start the second quarter. We'll be right back after these messages.
Please join Jeff Rash and Alan Metzel each Monday morning for the Gilmer Buckeyes Coaches Show. Every week, Jeff and Alan discuss elements of the program, speak with special guests, give player updates, review key plays from the prior week, and give insights on the opponent for the current week. As a fan, this is your chance to go into the locker room and behind the scenes. To view the Coaches Show, go to GilmerBuckeyes.com and click on the Coaches Show button. Go Buckeyes!
And back to the action here, Jeff. The North Lamar Panthers in the first quarter rushed it 7 times for 0 yards, threw it 8 times for 12 yards with 1 first down. The Buckeyes, in the meantime, have about 13 first downs and 3 touchdowns on the board and start the second quarter driving at the North Lamar 30.
Not a bad first quarter. Handoff up the middle and about a 7-yard gain. Nice run there by number 21 McDonald. Thomas, I'm sorry, Aiden Thomas. 3rd and 3.
Probably third down territory here, but
3rd or 4th. Pull it up, going to do a quick pass, picks up the first down. That's number 12, Haynes, out there, fighting inside the 10 to the 8.
Senior having a big night on senior night already with 1 touchdown on his first touch. First and goal now for the Buckeyes. And excellent communication up front. Jeff, one of the important things you see is on the offensive line. Not is the protection good, but it's an RPO, right? So you don't have guys that legally downfield. The Buckeyes, not shooting themselves in the foot simply because they got some experience now. Guys are playing their 3rd straight game, starting to gel up front, and everything looking good for the Buckeyes, getting ready for next week.
All right, going to the end zone, back corner, touchdown, Buckeyes.
Solly Jackson getting in on the action. That is just a fade route perfectly delivered by Zay Taylor. He's got such nice touch to drop it in the bucket. Let's see if we can get a good angle on this.
Look at him, just put it right where it needs to be, and goes up and high points the ball there. Great job there by Jackson.
Yeah, that's just textbook. That's how you draw it up. I'm telling you, these Buckeyes hitting on all cylinders, and I'll say it again, Jeff. This is North Lamar, and I guess we're relaxed and we're playing well, everything going right. But this team, you do not want to see coming if I'm an opposing defensive coordinator tomorrow morning that turns on the film in Athens. I look up and go, these Gilmer Buckeyes are still the Gilmer Buckeyes as they convert the extra point, 29-0, just inside a minute into the second quarter. We'll be right back after these messages.
Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
Back to the action here. Gorgeous fall evening. It is football season in Beast, Texas, folks. It is a beautiful night for football, and your Gilmer Buckeyes are rolling here on senior night to end the season. Kind of expected this as a tune-up match for the battle next week. Here's the kickoff. Once again, pooch kick.
High pooch kick fielded on the 33, and a great job there by Haynes getting downfield, making the tackle as soon as he tries to take off with the ball.
Now, Jeff, this is the difference between saying we're going to have a bunch of young guys that are getting on the field to kind of cover kicks where we've had problems in the past and are coming up in this season. And now you got your skill guys that are starting to get into special teams, and you see the difference there. Same kicker, same pooch kick, but that guy's wearing number 12 basically as soon as he touches the ball, and we've got field position and got him down on the 31. That's what it's going to take next week. Every single Buckeye that is really a starter is going to have to play all out, multiple positions, probably some both ways. But I'm telling you, if the Buckeyes pull this off next Friday night against the Athens Hornets, look out, because the way that things fall, it is just absolutely advantageous for the Buckeyes the way that the seeding goes.
All right, here's a pass attempt and way overthrown. That's going to fall incomplete. Stop the clock. Second down.
As this black flag defense is just simply stymied North Lamar. And again, you see rushing 4 guys. We pick our places to blitz. But more importantly, Jeff, we got 7 guys back in coverage. And boy, is that going to be tested next week as the cat and mouse game between Tommy Edwards and Athens staff, and especially the quarterback. That's going to be the name of the game next week. He is a big dude. He slings it all over the field. He's hard to tackle, but it's about getting pressure, just like you see here. Pressure with 2 blitzers. So that time we brought 5 guys and left 6 in coverage, and just 1 more than they can kind of block. That is going to be the name of the game, and getting off the field on 3rd down. Exactly this position where the Buckeyes want to practice for next week, and we'll talk about it. This is 3rd and 10, and the last couple of weeks, as you saw the Gilmer Buckeye defense do a great job on 1st down, 2nd down, having them on 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13. If you look back in the Van game, 3rd down was the absolute best down that the Van Vandals had. And they were able to convert from 10 yards, 9 yards, 13 yards, 15 yards. That's what the Buckeyes want to avoid.
Rolling out, heavy pressure, heavy pursuit. And he is going to go down for a big loss. Number 10 on the tackle, that's Jones, Corbin Jones. Heavy pursuit, and that is really going to put them way back on their heels. That is about a 15-yard loss.
That's only 4 guys rushing as we watch that replay. And they managed to not only get pressure and blow through the line, but cause a 16-yard loss there. And now the Buckeyes are going to have great field position. That's the kind of execution that the Buckeyes got to have next week and into the playoffs. And that's going to be the name of the game here for this black flag, is timely defense. Punt goes straight up in the air.
Yeah, it's going to take a good bounce for North Lamar and bounce out of bounds around the 49-yard line of the Panthers. And Buckeyes are going to take over with outstanding field position. You know, they are getting some good penetration tonight, but make no mistake, Athens is not North Lamar.
Yeah, totally different.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to look way different.
Way different next Friday. It's going to be an absolute battle.
I don't know how you decide, but if I'm coach, I'm putting my big men in there and saying, just you got to get through this line of scrimmage.
Now, I will say this, Jeff, and I'm not going to give too much away, but you're seeing vanilla right now from the Buckeyes as Zay Taylor is out of the game right now. And you see Carter, who is a very, very well-equipped backup in getting some great opportunities here to back it up. But there's a lot of bags. There's a lot of tricks in the bag from Coach Metzel that you're going to see next week that you have not seen any time at all from not only this group of Buckeyes, but from any group of Buckeyes. Going into the playoffs, it's 0-0. Everything is a one-game season, and the Buckeyes are going to let it rip next week.
All right, 1 receiver left and right. Here's the snap. Handoff, Horn, got a big hole, finds it, gets through it. Nice gain of about 12 on that one. He'll pick up the 1st down. Move the chains all the way out to the 33-yard line.
First and 10 Buckeyes from the 33-yard line. Like to see the Buckeyes score pretty much on every possession here tonight. Not to run the score up, but just guys getting an opportunity to work. And, I mean, we're starting the third phase and the most critical phase of the season, and that really starts tonight. Execution, the name of the game.
Handoff once again left side. This time no gain as they hand off to Horn on the left side. And Buckeyes checking in a lot of different players now on the offensive side of the ball. 8:04 left to play in the first half. Gilmer leads 29-0. Carter Johnson in at quarterback, dropping back, looking to pass, left side, got a man open. Number 17, Jackson, and he'll be drug out around the 23-yard line. Going to be right at the first down marker. Probably got enough to get the first down and move the sticks.
Yes, he did.
Nice pass there by Carter.
And good execution there. Great job by Solly just picking up the first down, making first man miss. And he's hard enough to tackle in a phone booth, Jeff. He is electric quick and great hands, and certainly going to be an integral part of the Buckeye offense as we continue in this playoff march. If we are able to get past Athens, he's going to be a big reason.
Trip receivers to the right side. Here's the snap. Carter pulls it down, goes to Trosbach, who gets inside the 5. Nice pass there by Carter. You know, Carter's got a great arm, by the way.
Yes, he does.
This guy can throw the football.
He absolutely can.
I'd like to see him here in a minute throw like a fly route or a post route and let people see what an arm he's got.
Yeah, he's got a great touch, and the Buckeyes obviously already just kind of pulling in the tentacles in terms of what we're going to show Athens on film. Game is really kind of under control now, but it's about execution and making sure everybody's ready, because it's going to take all of us. As untouched Tavion Horn goes into the end zone for his first touchdown of the night. That's going to stretch it out to 35-0 with 6:36 left to play in the first quarter. And Jeff, we talked about last week in Spring Hill. How long has it been all season since we looked up and saw 40-plus point halves from these Buckeyes? And this will be 2 weeks in a row where we're knocking on the door of that. And that is good to see with the offense.
This used to be the way it was,
yeah,
you know, in the 2000s, early 2000s, because we played teams like North Lamar. I mean, you're right, we didn't play the SEC West or, you know, 5A teams and Division I, you know, 4A teams. That was back when we were 3A. You know, things were a little different. I mean, we have got some serious competition around us. You think about who Chapel Hill is and Kilgore is and Carthage is.
And
Lindale is. Year in and year out, these teams are Pleasant Grove. I mean, you're talking about some of the best programs in the entire state. They just happen to be surrounding us.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case as we talk about 4A and how the playoffs stack up, right? So Carthage is the number 1 team in the state. They're from the South district. They match up with our district in the playoffs. So in round 1, their first place plays our 4th place. Their second place plays our 3rd place. That's Athens versus Gilmer. It just so happens that the Athens Hornets played the number 1 team in the state, the Carthage Bulldogs, to within a touchdown, and I think that score was 50-40 something. I mean, it was an absolute dogfight, and you'll see next week is they got a great big quarterback that can sling it all over the field. And to your point, Jeff, there are some studs in 4A that are all from Beast, Texas. We've earned that reputation, and there's probably one team that's going to come out of the region, and that team that comes out of our region too is going to be the state favorite to win a championship.
All right, here's the kickoff by the Buckeyes. High pooch kick. It's going to be fielded on the 30, fumbled, and falls on it. You know, I went to last week. I was hunting out in Wyoming and Utah. I went to a friend of mine.
Wait, were you hunting or freezing?
I was doing both. I was hunting, killing, and freezing. But I went to a football game, you know, out there that one of their better teams, a friend of mine, his son plays, and so I got to go to a football game. I called you from there, in fact, that afternoon, and you know, it's a 6A program. If that same 6A program came to East Texas, they'd be good if they could beat a 3A team here. I mean, it's just a different world. when you think about the competition that's here in Texas, specifically in East Texas. Handoff up the middle, falls forward for a gain of 4. Nice run. It's just the football is different, and everybody knows that Texas football is superior to most states. Florida's got some great high school football, and there are other states that do really well with it, but no place like Texas.
Let's mention this, Jeff. Some of those other states now have NIL legalized, and they're recruiting from all over. That's not the way that it is in Texas. You still got the guys from Gilmer are playing in Gilmer, and the guys from Carthage are playing in Carthage. Guys from Longview are playing in Longview. You don't have a lot of moving around as you do in some of the big cities, and so there is still that throwback loyalty that you have, and really tradition in the programs. You look at guys like over in Longview. The legendary coach, Coach King, and what he's been able to produce in terms of outstanding talent. Here is his son right now at Georgia Tech. He's going to be a Heisman Trophy candidate.
Yeah.
You got to think about guys like Trent Williams, who probably is the best tackle to ever do it in history from Longview, Texas. You think about through the years, Patrick Mahomes. Everybody knows who isn't from right over in White House. Dad from Lindale, and we played against him in high school. It just goes. The list goes on and on and on. Not just back to the 2010s and the 2000s and the 1990s and the 1980s. Guys like Earl Campbell. Beast Texas has been around for a long time.
I moved to Gilmer in 2001, and where I'm from in Southern Arkansas, football was not that big of a deal. I played football, but going to watch a game, no thank you. I moved to Gilmer, and my brother Todd was already here. And he's like, man, you got to come to a Gilmer high school football game. I'm like, I'm not coming to a high school football game.
What for?
That's a waste of time. I came, and I was hooked ever since.
Look at you now.
And now I'm...
Yeah. Todd, I didn't know he could talk. Did
you know what?
Have you ever heard
Let me tell you something. You ain't been here, but I tell you what.
Has Eric been having a talk?
He's been saving our tail for about 3 weeks now.
Well, that's good.
You let Dodd and I get rolling, and somebody's got to be a referee and jump in.
No kidding. I told him before when I left, I said, just turn their mics off. If they get going, just mute them. Just mute them. And I'm screaming at them. I'm listening to you guys from wherever I've been traveling, and I'm listening. And they'll get wound up, and I'm like, turn the mic off. I'm texting Eric, turn their mics off. Well, he did not do it.
I don't know if he brought it, but Eric had a flag in his back pocket for the last 2 weeks that he's been throwing at us at commercials.
He's been throwing flags at you and Joe. Yeah. Here's the snap, drops back, pass complete, nice juke there as he picks up the first down. It's just a different animal. I recall I was telling this same team I'm talking about out in Utah played earlier in the season. Played that team from Vegas, that we played, Bishop Gorman. And, of course, they're still doing what they do.
Consistently top 10 team in the nation.
In the nation. And of course, they got beaten. It was a long story, but it was a forfeit game on a technicality. But I told them, I said, yeah, we played Bishop Gorman, and they're like, in Texas? And I'm like, yeah, they came here years ago, got beat 56-16.
And then never came back.
Yeah, after going 5 years undefeated. It's just a different game in East Texas. So you have a year like this where the stars weren't aligned for the Buckeyes, obviously, going 3-6 so far. But you're going to have those years. I can't believe that we've gone 20-some-odd years with winning records and going to state as many times as we have, and either winning state or going to state or getting beat by the eventual state champion over and over and over, almost 50% of the time. And that's just unheard of. I mean, we act like it's normal here, but it's not at all normal. It's very abnormal, and we just happen to be placed in the best football, really some of the best football in the entire nation, not just the state of Texas. Right here within, 50 or 100 miles from us. Go route's going to fall incomplete, bring up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Jeff, you mentioned, let's just talk about for a second, because the rest of the football world knows this. I'll just give you an example. Just this week, we've had several SEC schools that are roaming the halls here talking to some of our players. And that's so normal for our kids over the last 20 years that they think it's that way everywhere. It's not that way everywhere.
It's not that way everywhere. And now I'm getting texts. I'm getting hate mail over here. Josiah Moulton, who's a good friend of mine, a doctor here, lives in Gilmer, moved here a year or two ago. He's like, my man, talking trash on Utah football. That's where they're from. So I apologize.
Hey,
I didn't realize I didn't know he was listening.
I've got one question, and I will find this out before halftime. How many guys? And Utah's got a really good football team now. I'm telling you, Utah is a national ranked team. But how many guys on the Utah roster or any other Division I roster are from the state of Texas? I'll find that out, and we will kind of get that statistic out to make the point.
Yeah, and he's talking trash. We got Utah coming to Baylor and BYU coming to Texas Tech, and I've already called for an upset on the Texas Tech game. So now I'm calling one on Baylor, BYU or Utah and Baylor, and that's going to be a long shot, by the way.
Well, my Baylor Bears, I'm not sure there's enough Baptists in Waco to pray for that one.
No, I don't think there is either. But Texas Tech has a great shot at it, and that punt is very short.
No, let me send a quick shout out right there, Jeff, to our young number 3, and that's Drake Smith. And Drake was locked up with a receiver. It was a shank punt, and he yelled fire, and he ran away from the ball. You remember earlier in the season we had a kick against Kilgore. It hit us in the head. That became a fumble, and that is a really, really good heads-up play by young Drake there to get out of the way and call fire. That is marked improvement that's not going to come up in anybody's highlight film.
All right, handoff around the left side. Look at him turn on the juice. Juked him out of his shorts. Cuts back in and drug down at the 20-yard line. What a great run that was. That was fun to watch. We'll watch that on the replay. Watch Johnson.
Watch 18. They're going to call a hold on Gage Trosbach, who's blocking his tail off here. And right there, they're going to call a hold.
Yeah, that's a good call. Spot foul, though, so it's only 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Not bad. Still a big run. Yeah, still a big run. Yeah, I forget. I get called out on talking Utah football trash. I apologize. Been back one game, I'm already in trouble. But it is. You know what I'm talking about. It's a different animal.
Absolutely, and the traditions around the smaller towns in East Texas, and we're talking about towns of, between 3,500. We remember the 1980s defense there from the Dangerfield Tigers, where there's 1,500 people in town, 215 kids in the high school, and 9 out of the 11 starters on defense wind up in the National Football League.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, that is just insane.
Boy, those were the fun days back in the 80s.
No fun for who? They weren't fun for us.
Yeah, it was fun to play them though, man. Those were great days when Gladewater and Dangerfield and Gilmer were kind of like Gilmer, Carthage and Pleasant Grove now. Pass falls incomplete. But we had some athletes that I would love to have watched under the tutelage of Jeff Traylor and Alan Metzel. You think about some of these guys that we used to watch in the 80s, Gary Palmer and Tommy Palmer and those guys. I mean, can you imagine what they would have done, under this under this time? Well, of course, back then,
option
we
football
were lucky
was
to have 4 or 5 coaches. We have quite a few more now, and we've obviously got a lot more in the program, and have had great results because of it. But Gilmer is on the map. Anywhere I travel, I mean, people have heard of Gilmer football. It's pretty amazing. Gilmer football and Gilmer FFA specifically are well known throughout the state and even the nation. And now Gilmer Band, first taking state. Proud of those guys. That is a pass complete to Ector. He is fun to watch. Picks up the first down plus a few more. And that is his first reception of the night. And he is an electric runner when he gets the football. A lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, and he is a great football player. Probably pound for pound, Jeff, one of the best football players that we've had in Gilmer in a long time. And he's all of 5'5" and probably 125 pounds. But his football IQ is through the roof.
6'2".
Yeah, 6'2", 220.
Yeah.
Empty backfield here as we'll have a 1st and 10, and we've got a dead ball.
2 minute. That's a 2 minute timeout. Yeah.
And the Buckeye offense running the play anyway, but it will be blown dead.
Well, let's take a break, and we'll be right back after these messages while I call my friend and apologize.
Since 1900, our customers have relied on and placed their trust in First National Bank of East Texas. Today, we remain committed to earning that trust and serving the needs of families and businesses throughout East Texas. Because time never stands still, you can depend on us to meet the changing needs of future generations for the next 125 years. You can bank on that. First National Bank of East Texas.
There's a real advantage to being a Gilmer National Bank customer. From the low fees on commercial loans and the hassle-free process and ease of local decisions. If you appreciate personal service and great savings rates, no matter what your age, come see us today in Gilmer or Longview, where the pace is a little slower and the smiles a little brighter. Because we want to hear you say,
Gilmer National Bank. That's my bank.
Gilmer National Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
And back to the action. Here's the Buckeyes lead 36-0, 2-minute timeout, but driving 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. And Jeff, they will probably go back to that empty set that they were just in. No, I take that back. Thomas is now back in the back. Now he goes to empty set. So you're going to get to see young Mr. Carter throw the football here, I think.
Yeah, go deep. Let's see what he's got. I want him to show off this arm. Let him throw it deep. He's setting up for it across the middle. Going to throw behind the intended receiver. Ball incomplete. Carter can throw the football.
Yeah, kind of trying to navigate the linebacker that took a good drop there and got right into the passing lane. Carter trying to throw Gage Trosbach open, who plants and tries to come back to the football, but the legs went out from under him. But that was the right idea. Those are the plays that are going to be huge as the playoffs start, because all the little things now that the Buckeyes are working on right here in front of your eyes are going to really start to matter. These big opportunities, 2nd down, 3rd down, turnovers, are going to be the difference in the game.
All right, broken play. Carter running for his life is going to lose a yard. That was supposed to be a draw.
It was actually a good decision, because that was going to be blown up for about a 6-yard loss. Carter getting that back to 3rd down and manageable on 3rd and 11, probably in 4-down territory here. We are not in field goal range, but we're going to try to probably pick up 4 or 5 at least here, and wouldn't be surprised to see us run the ball with Thomas here. That tells you we're going for it on 4th down.
Trips receivers to the left, one to the right, one back in the backfield. 3rd and 11. Here's the snap, dropping back, looking to pass. Going long, and it was a little underthrown. That was intended for Trosbach. He was wide open. If he could have picked that up a couple of feet, that would have been probably 6 points right there.
Yeah, and he had a wide open passing lane there. Great job up front in getting max protection.
We're going to do it again.
Yeah, I think you're right. A 4th down 11.
Same set, same patterns. Just run it again. He'll nail this one. 4th and 11. I'm pulling for you, Carter.
Yeah, I think we'll get some pressure here. So see if the Buckeyes can hold up front. Look for the linebacker at the top of your screen that's out there with Trace Haynes, and then we're trying to read him. If he comes with pressure, he opens up the slant route for 12.
Carter dropping back, heavy pressure, setting up the screen, and we just dropped it. So that's going to be turnover on downs. First time tonight the Buckeyes have done that. 53 seconds left to play, and North Lamar comes back on the field. Again, I want to apologize to the Buckeye fans for my absence these last 3 games or so. But nice to be back tonight. It's our last game here in Jeff Traylor Stadium for this season.
Crazy to say. It seems like we just started.
We did just start.
We were talking to the guys.
The older we get, the faster it's going.
I'm telling you. We were talking to the guys in the announcing booth about how smooth everything went tonight in pregame, and we said, hey, it's 5 games now. We got it all together. It's our last game. We'll go all the way fast forward to next year, and we'll try to take 4 games to figure it out again.
Handoff, number 6 up the middle. Going to get maybe a yard on the carry. You know, we've been doing this for 23 years, Todd.
Wow.
23 years. 02
I can remember this, Jeff. I can remember this. I remember being in Winsboro. We did play Winsboro at one time.
Yeah.
In the preseason.
We've seen a lot of changes.
This was Manuel Johnson's junior year. And I remember the game.
That would be
03. And we threw an interception. And Manuel, by the way, he just had his first child. Congratulations, Manny, is one of the godfathers of the Buckeyes, the 2004 MVP of the state. And then a 4-year starter at the University of Oklahoma, draftee by the Dallas Cowboys, Manuel Johnson. And they threw an interception. And on the goal line, we were on the 7-yard line on grass. This is pre-turf. and the guy started to return it, and Manny ran him down from behind, stripped the ball, took it back in the end zone, scored a touchdown.
That's hilarious. Well, yeah, we saw that's the end of the first half, folks. Gilmer leads 36-0. We have seen a lot of stuff over the years, and I think back, we were a lot skinnier, a lot younger. We had dark hair. I mean,
hey,
you look at the
some
the
of us
changes.
still have hair.
Yeah. Well, are you talking about Joe? Are you trying to say something about Joe? I've got
Joe,
a head.
Rebel,
I have
Jeff,
to,
Trailer.
Listen, I have to shave my forehead. You and I both have too much hair. But our friends, you're right. Jeff Trailer, they just gave it up. Let it go.
Yeah, their band is not going to march. We will be marching, and
that is no problem because we have been known to take a halftime show. We are known nationwide for taking as much time as we want with the halftime show. And you know what? When you're first in the state of Texas, you're fixing to see the number one team.
That's right,
This
baby.
is it. This is the best you can see for a halftime show right here. We're going to bring it to you right now.
And, Jeff, you will see a lot of guys over there because the junior high band is joining the Buckeye band on the field tonight. We'll also have a special presentation and the unveiling.
Yeah, look at that. There's like 200 kids on the field.
Yep, this is how it starts to look when you get it rolling in the band program. As a lot of these 8th graders, there's another 45 8th graders that are going to join the Buckeye band for the first time in their career.
Have fun.
The state championship of Buckeye band, mind you.
Have fun.
And you see across the way, Eric, let me ask you to go ahead and get a close-up of that sign that's over there in the unveiling of that sign. Now you see the Buckeye band sign, and that's where the band sits across the way. And that sign right there will be unveiled here at halftime tonight. And the first state championship for Eric Gray and Mr. Brandon Garman and this Buckeye band program. They have been at it, pursuing really a state championship since they initiated the military marching contest, which was right before COVID started.
That sign was put up today.
Today, yes. This morning, the cranes were out here. I pulled up, and the cranes were already heaving the sign up as the Stars entered the field. But, Jeff, we've been third place. We've been second place. We've been 5 straight years in the finals. And the Buckeyes last Wednesday night, a week ago, 10 days ago, bring home just by a few points the state championship. And, boy, I tell you what, the cool part is it's not just the band that's excited. I mean, you should have seen the texts that were flying around and just from the football team celebrating the band. You know, the family motto is not just in the field house, as Coach Metzel said. It is a high school-wide thing, and, boy, are we proud of this group of guys. Proud of the Stars, proud of FFA. All of our extracurricular programs in Gilmer are outstanding. Of course, like I said, nobody wants to see these Buckeyes coming in the playoffs. 3 out of the last 5 years we've been to the state championship, won it in 2023, and the future is bright in Gilmer, Texas. And I tell you what, it's hard for me to do this, Jeff, but when you have these mass exoduses from states like California and New York,
why would anybody want to leave New York?
I have no idea. I try my best to not go up there, but I do welcome their interest in coming and supporting our cause as the Stars perform with the Buckeye band. I'll shut up and let the band play.
right, Gilmer fans, stand up and cheer for the Buckeyes as the Stars flip to the fight song.
And now the Gilmer Buckeye Band, the State Championship 2025 Buckeye Band, will begin their performance with the Twirlers, and this is a joint routine as the Stars first will recognize their seniors and their families, and we will join them on the Jesus Halftime Show down with the senior Stars.
You know, Todd, we said it a while ago, kind of tongue-in-cheek, but this is a fact. These guys have a trophy to prove that the Buckeye Band, that if you went and watched every 4A band in the state, this is going to be the best one you're going to see. So you literally have the best halftime show you can watch right here in Gilmer, Texas. That's what that means.
And very, very, very long. These kids start with 2-a-days in August, just like the football team does. They put as many hours in as the football team or any other program does. Make the same sacrifices. The parents, these instruments aren't free. Somebody's got to buy those instruments. I was a band guy, as you know, and
you were a drummer.
I was a drummer for sure. As we get the halftime stats that we're going to recognize. Thank you, Brother Dodd and Joe, for handling us with stats. I kidded Joe the last 2 weeks when we were gone and said, "Hey, why don't we have any stats?"
Yeah.
He looked at me like, you're not serious,
kidding,
right?
Yeah. You're kind of slacking off there, Joe.
Yeah, and let's look at the statistics quickly. The Buckeyes 12 rushes for 64 yards and a touchdown. That was Tavion Horn. For North Lamar, 13 rushes for minus 14 yards and 1 fumble. No touchdowns. Passing the Buckeyes 12 of 18 for 229 yards. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. For North Lamar, 3 of 14 for 15 yards. So in the first half, Jeff, the North Lamar Panthers had 1 yard.
Yeah.
1 yard total offense.
Yeah, it's rough.
27 plays for 1 yard. The Buckeyes 30 plays for 293 yards. North Lamar turned it over twice. We have no turnovers, although the time of possession for the Buckeyes 11-23, and for North Lamar 12-37. Zade's 10 of 13 for 195 yards and 4 touchdowns. That is pretty decent quarterback rating. And Solly Jackson, 6 catches for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. Once again, as we mentioned, Solly Jackson had one of the most productive one of the most productive games against the Van Vandals that any Buckeye has ever had. So I think that was the second leading performance. Only Darian Pollard, back in the Luke Turner days, had a more productive football game, I think, against Argyle. That was a playoff game that we lost. But we're talking about some pretty heady group of receivers that he can go say, hey, I've only got the second best performance as a Buckeye receiver in history.
You're in pretty good company.
Yeah, and then just one game later, young sophomore Tavion Horn has 5 touchdowns. There was only 12 guys that even had 5 touchdowns in the history of the Buckeyes. Only 2 living Buckeyes had 6, which is just crazy to think about. The Buckeyes, not just the last 25 years from a success standpoint, but there are a number of Buckeyes all the way back into the Truett-Ratton days. We talk about, Pistol Pete Herman and the guys that went down to the University of Houston to play, and during those great years, Tommy Palmer, who was at TCU, and was one time, a pre-Heisman Trophy candidate in the 1980s. So you're talking about a lot of really, really talented Buckeyes, and these guys are performing right along with them. Ricky Stone, there's a lot of guys there from the Buckeye traditions that have gone on to play Division I. Of course, celebrated Buckeyes. We talk about Manny Johnson, Curtis Brown. You got David Snow. You got G.J. Kinney, who's now the head coach at Texas State, one of the hottest young coaches. Of course, all under the tutelage of Coach Traylor, who's at UTSA. And Kurt Traylor down there with him, and Coach Turner with him, and Luke Turner down there coaching with him. I tell you what, the Buckeye football tree.
And has a few Buckeyes playing down there as well.
And it was cool last night to see, as you saw Brandon Timothy playing quarterback, throwing a pass and handing off to Will Henderson, who was the 4A MVP and state champion in 2023. And so just a lot of Buckeyes that you see popping up, and as you point out, just the Buckeye tree is getting exposure really kind of everywhere, and as we see the senior stars be recognized as they do such a great job, and now we will have the Buckeye band take the field. These are the combined bands, by the way. There's a lot of kids over there. You don't even have a wide enough camera angle to pick up everybody, but that is the junior high band. You see the white sousaphones there. That is a big group, and you will see a sound come out of this group too.
All right, let's throw it down to the field as the state championship Gilmer Buckeye band makes their way to midfield.
High school and junior high majorettes return to New Dubai. Pride of Upshur County, the 2025 UAL Military Marching Band State Champion, Gilmer Buckeye Band. Joined tonight on the field tonight by the drum majors Carter Gilmer and Genesis Sanchez with featured twirler Amy Sanchez. The band steps off to Sweet Land of Liberty fanfare by Sochinski. We would like to recognize our 2025-2026 GHS Band Seniors who marched tonight at Buckeye Stadium for the final time. These seniors have scored a perfect march for the last 4 years at UIL Region Marching Contests and UIL Concert and Sight Reading Contests. These seniors have also led the way for 4 consecutive years as finalists at the UIL State Military Marching Contest, and 2 weeks ago at Baylor McLean Stadium helped lead the GHS Band to their very first UIL Marching Band State Championship.
So, Jeff, as we recognize the senior band members that have been of this senior class, they have been to the state finals 4 times. They've never made anything but a Division I in any contest. Not marching, not sight reading, and also not concert season. They've been sweepstakes all 4 years. They've been the 3rd place band in the state, the 2nd place band in the state, and now are the state champion. I don't know that there's any box left to check for this senior group in the Gilmer Buckeye Band. What a legacy that they leave. And as we think back to, the first state championship on the football side in 2004, really it's kind of the same era for the band as the competition has now split into military bands versus corps bands, because really they're 2 different sports. It's just how they've evolved. And that people say, well, what's different about that? Well, let me just tell you from a band standpoint. The military marching tradition, think about the Fighting Texas Aggie Band, is what's called a military marching band because they march what's called 6 to 5. What that means is they take 6 strides for every 5 yards. Corps band is what's called an 8 to 5 band, which means that in their normal strides, and of course they go in all directions and make different patterns. They play different music. They march in terms of different tempos. And really, it's become a completely different sport. So the UIL recognized that and decided to say, well, we're just going to have 2 separate competitions, one for military marching band and one for corps band. And so that state championship, which now all of the bigger 6A and city schools, most of those bands march corps. The reason is because they have so many kids out that you can't really put a military marching band together. So you put corps band together. And that leaves a lot of the finer, smaller towns like Gilmer, like Spring Hill, like Pittsburgh, like Lindale. Now, those are state championship quality bands, also finalists. And so the Buckeye Band is carrying on the military tradition. Or we say we're the Army of Buckeyes, and that is no joke because we march military. And probably from a college band standpoint, there's only one. If you've ever seen the Fighting Texas Aggie Band march, then you know what that means. If you have not, you should go and do that because it is, quite frankly, one of the most impressive things that you can imagine, to try to march 6 to 5 in synchronized fashion, try to do the mathematical equations of marching in between people, try to do that while playing an instrument and playing it very well. That's exactly what this group has been able to do in terms of mastery. And if you watch the finals down in Waco, Texas 10 days ago, or a week ago Wednesday, this band did it to perfection. They march a very, very difficult drill. A drill is basically the show that they march during halftime is called a military drill. And it is a drill in marching while they are playing. Obviously, the United States Army, the U.S. Marine Corps Band, the U.S. Navy Band, they also, and also the Coast Guard Band, they also march in military tradition. But these young men and women are kind of the carriers of a legacy in the military tradition. and they are doing it at the highest level that you can possibly do it, bringing home a state championship. And these seniors that you see before you here have really been the crux as we are going to now look next door, across the way.
Congratulations.
And here we go. Here comes the banner down, and we have another state championship hanging in Jeff Traylor Stadium. It's the 4A Military Marching State Champs 2025. The motto, leave no doubt.
And they did not last Wednesday. They left no doubt of who the best band was in Waco, Texas. And I hope, Jeff, to say this, and I told Eric Gray this as we were jumping around and high-fiving when I saw him last Friday night for the first time. Maybe he broke the curse in Waco. Maybe the Buckeyes actually can go back to Waco.
I don't ever want to go to Waco again. No, I don't care. That's for the band. It's not for Buckeyes. We're not ever playing a state championship game in Waco again. Terrible. What a good-looking group of young people down there having a great time, and well-deserved state championship for the Gilmer Buckeye band. The crowd is on their feet as they play the school song. Well, this is what I love about Friday nights right here, Chad. This is what it's all about. So why we do this? What better thing could you do in the fall on a Friday night than this right here? Nothing.
I can't think of it. And when you invest in the kids and those guys go and succeed, it is about as good as it gets on all fronts. As proudly we put another sign up in Jeff Traylor Stadium. On our Juicy's halftime show, we're going to recognize a few of our sponsors, including Juicy's, and come back with the second half. Buckeyes lead 36-0 over North Lamar. Probably a fast second half coming up, so we'll recognize a few of our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Don't settle for the other guys when you could have the best. Only at Juicy's.
For nearly 150 years, Crowley Funeral Home has offered the highest quality in funeral services to the families of Upshur County for a fair and reasonable price. Led by Gilmer graduate Troy Murray, our staff stands ready at all times to tenderly guide your family in their time of need in all aspects of funeral planning, such as pre-need and at-need, and all types of services from cremation and memorial services to traditional funerals, with attention to every detail. At Crowley Funeral Home, we've been treating families as our own since 1883.
At Farmers Insurance, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a rock and wreck. He rocked and rolled right into it, but we covered it. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
When tragedy strikes, you don't want to be in a position where you're second-guessing your lawyer's ability or the resolve to get you fairly compensated. When you hire Godarzi & Young, you know you're hiring a law firm that has nationally ranked settlements and verdicts. We have over 2 decades of experience holding 18-wheeler companies accountable for their negligent action. Don't make the mistake of hiring anybody else. Hire the best. Hire Godarzi & Young.
Chad Burkhalter and Gary Vestal are your Gilmer Edward Jones financial advisors. We're all about financial investments, but we also value the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why Chad and Gary are proud sponsors of our state champion Gilmer Buckeyes. Call 843-2023 or 843-5794 or visit edwardjones.com for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Banking the Texas way, with strength, trust, and hometown pride. Deposits that work harder, backed by neighbors who care. Your hometown bank is right here in Gilmer, Texas, 795 Highway 271 North. Texas Heritage National Bank, member FDIC.
Need an oil change? Try the new Buckeye Express Lube, 1 mile from Gilmer on Highway 300. Oil and filter changes, fluid top-offs, multi-point inspections, and tire rotation and repair are just a few of the services they offer. Best of all, you can watch TV and enjoy a complimentary snack while you wait. Jason Horton, a former Marine, thank you for your service, has over 30 years of experience in the business and guarantees the best service in town. Next time you need an oil change, think Buckeye Express Lube on Highway 300.
It's gonna be alright. How can you tell? I feel it in my heart. It's gonna be okay.
Juicy's Burgers, serving you for over 40 years.
To another day. It's gonna be alright.
La Finca Mexican restaurant is my favorite restaurant in the world. An East Texas favorite for over 37 years. Everyone with any taste agrees La Finca has the best Mexican food in Texas. But I want to share some of my personal favorites with you that maybe you haven't tried yet. Dina and I both love the ribeye steaks at La Finca. Ribeye steak and a baked potato, you can't go wrong. And if you happen to be a hamburger connoisseur, La Finca has one of the biggest and best hamburgers in town. Absolutely fantastic. And finally, never, and I mean never, leave La Finca without having a slice of Olga's homemade carrot cake or tres leche cake. Trust me, it'll change your life forever. La Finca, supporting the Gilmer Buckeyes for over 37 years. Feeling under the weather, Buckeye fans? Come on down to Core Health Systems at Community Health Corps, 101 West Madison Street in Gilmer. No appointment needed. Our walk-in clinic is ready to get you back in the game. Call 903-843-5518 today. Your health is our priority.
Back to the action here. Thank you to our Juicy's halftime show on all of our great sponsors here, as we've also got our great sponsors here for our Booster Club that are here in the stadium with our great signs for the last home game for these seniors. But playoffs looming. It will be the Gilmer Buckeyes versus the Atlanta Hornets next Friday night at 7:30 in Henderson, Texas. And Athens, the second-place team in that South District with Carthage. And they are a handful, folks. Great quarterback. He can throw it. He can run it. He is a big dude. And this Black Flag defense is going to be testing the offense as well, as this tune-up game has gone the way that Coach Metzel and the Buckeyes had hoped. 36-0 the lead at halftime, probably running clock in the second half. I would guess that we're going to be right basically another 35, 40 minutes, guys, in terms of the halftime show. Want to thank all of our sponsors for this entire year from a regular season standpoint, and now we will be rolling into phase 3, as Coach Metzel calls it, and it is the thing that matters. Every single game is a one-game season. It is win or go home from here on out after the conclusion of tonight's game, and it will start with a battle next Friday night, 7:30, against the Athens Hornets in Henderson, Texas. Need the Army of Buckeyes to travel, and then, of course, tune in as Jeff and I will be covering that game as North Lamar gets ready to kick off the Buckeyes to start the second half. Here's the kick. It is an onside kick. It's going to be fielded nicely at the 43-yard line, and that is number 30. That's Mr. Austin. Already has a touchdown catch tonight, so good hands. So Austin Blakely, young sophomore, is going to be a name that you hear quite often over the next couple of years, as so many of these youngsters took their lumps here to start this season, but the playoffs are looming. And once again, Buckeyes going to rest a lot of their normal starters here in the second half. So this is going to be a run to the outside, and that is going to be Horn. And he is cutting back, and he is still on his feet all the way down to the 44-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10, Gilmer, after that 14-yard run on first down. One play, one first down for the Buckeyes into North Lamar territory. Single back to the right is Horn. Carter in a quarterback. He's going to escape to the right-hand side. He's got all kinds of green grass. He tucks it in a run. That is a good decision. He picks up about 15 yards inside the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 once again. One play. Carter Johnson picks up a first down with his legs. Shows you how capable he is as the backup quarterback. Here's the replay. He just steps out of pressure there. North Lamar loses contain, and Carter Johnson takes advantage of it, picks up about 16 yards, first down Buckeyes at the 29-yard line. It's going to be a pass out to the quick. That's Trace Haynes out there. Once again, as the Buckeyes continue to work on their execution on the offensive side. They aren't worried about the scoreboard. Tonight's contest, as Coach Metzel said, was about the Buckeyes versus the Buckeyes. And they're driving.
And you got to think most of what they're doing now is fundamentals, getting ready for tomorrow. I mean, next Friday night, 7:30 in Henderson as they take on Athens. Here's the snap. Carter drop back, look downfield, plenty of time to throw, goes for the end zone for the touchdown.
That's Gage Trosbach with his
second touchdown.
Second touchdown of the season, and that one was easy money as he gets lost back there in that zone. And you see them out to the near side. He's going to run across the ground on the inside.
Look what a good job the offensive line does, giving Carter plenty of time as he just goes right down the middle, finds the open receiver, and throws a dime.
That's just like you draw it up. Run, clock, run. As our backup kicker is in for the lefty, and he kicks that extra point up and good. 43-0 now with 9:29 left to play in the third quarter. We'll see if the clock does continue to run here as this second half continues. Buckeyes continue to tune up for next week, and we'll talk a little bit about that when we come back after these messages.
Please join Jeff Rash and Alan Metzel each Monday morning for the Gilmer Buckeyes Coaches Show. Every week, Jeff and Alan discuss elements of the program, speak with special guests, give player updates, review key plays from the prior week, and give insights on the opponent for the current week. As a fan, this is your chance to go into the locker room and behind the scenes. To view the Coaches Show, go to GilmerBuckeyes.com and click on the Coaches Show button. Go Buckeyes!
Back to the action here as the Buckeyes score to start this second half. Now lead 43-0. Took 2 minutes and 31 seconds, and now the clock runs.
And here is a pooch kick down the middle, fielded at the 30. got room to run on the right side and drug down hard.
What a great play there by 35
yeah,
for
number
the Buckeyes.
35 for the Buckeyes just come in there and slams him to the ground.
Yeah, that's John Henry Gillow.
John Henry with the big play. I was just down in the stands a few minutes ago, saw his family. I bet they're down there cheering right now.
Yeah, great football player, senior, great leadership. They're all the time. I mean, it's the glue that holds the program together is those guys that just come to work every day, and they're not the names that you hear because they're not getting the ball all the time, but they just continue to make play after play after play, and great leaders in the field house, great leaders in the classroom, great leaders up at the high school.
Quarterback keeper, actually that was I think a snap to the. It's like that wasn't the quarterback, was it? Number 10. Was he lined up at quarterback, or was that a Wildcat?
That was a Wildcat, yeah. And that's number 5, Jet Bates. Comes in and makes that play.
Yeah, they gained maybe a foot there, so we're going to call it 2nd and 10.
Starting defense still out there for the Buckeyes. Somebody better go find that wideout out there. Oh! Smith sees him. Takes him. Once again wide out.
Quarterback keeper, they're all over him. And they're going to drop him for a loss. They're going to say 4 when they blew the whistle. Clock continues to roll. We're at 8 minutes left in the third quarter. And feel like they're going to let this thing just kind of roll for the rest of this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's good. And a generous spot there on second down to say he only lost 3 yards. I think that the forward progress was where I hoped to get after the big number 44 and 54 broke through the line there. That is Davion King and Tyler Hagler, of course. And I'll tell you what, Jeff, as we approach the Athens Hornets, it is going to be very crucial. Here's a pass down.
They just threw that one up. That
into nowhere.
Yeah, that went out of bounds. Fly route. That was a chunk. This is not the quarterback that started in the first half.
No, they have put the seniors in, and of course this is going to be a winless season for North Lamar.
Man, that makes for a long season.
Yeah, it really does, and a long off season, and again you've had 5 head coaches in 6 years, so North Lamar is stuck up there in the north, and they got the Buckeyes and they got the Pleasant Grove Hawks, and they got to draw all those teams as they're in our district.
Yeah, it's just nearly unfair. Nice punt. They called fair catch. It's going to hit the turf and be down at the 40-yard line. So Buckeyes going to take over 1st and 10 on the 40. 6:43 left to play in the third.
And good to see that the North Lamar band did arrive. They did not play at halftime, but they've got a great band program at North Lamar, core band, as we talked about. They march 8 to 5, so they are not competitors directly with the state champion Buckeye band, but we'll have a third quarter tonight full of music. That's great.
Dropping back to pass. Oh, almost picked off. That would have been a pick 6 right there. Number 85 for North Lamar. Great heads-up defensive play. I'll tell you what, that's not a big band from North Lamar over there, but they are loud.
They're making some noise. They play core, which means they play loud. You see a great break on the ball. And Carter got to make sure that he does not stare down his receiver. In that case, it was Trosbach. Fortunate to be 2nd and 10 here. Starting offensive line still in, getting their reps.
All right, handoff, number 25 around the right side. And he's going to pick up maybe a couple. It's going to bring up 3rd and 8 for the Buckeyes. Like I said, been a long season for the Buckeyes this year. Played some fantastic teams. We saw some great football. Had several games we were in and should have won. Just couldn't pull it out for one reason or the other. A lot of this is youth. We pointed out several times throughout the year that not one person that started on offense this year had started on offense before this year. I can't remember another time where I've ever seen that before.
Not since we've been doing this.
Not in 23 years that we've been doing it, and so that makes a difference. It shows you how important these reps are. And that ball is complete for the first down over there. Move the sticks. And so it's just been, and you think about injuries, and the Buckeyes never make excuses, our coaches, but they won't say this. They won't get out and say it. I'll say it on their behalf. That, we've had, I think, I said it on the coaches show here a couple of 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think the number was 18.
Yeah.
18 different starters, or 13 maybe, different starters that were out, with injuries throughout the year.
We had 15 2 weeks ago, and what that does with a 4A squad, Jeff, as deep as Gilmer is, it forces everybody to play in positions you're not used to playing.
No, because it's not just one guy out. It usually shifts 3 positions.
Yeah.
When one guy goes down. Great punt there as it bounces around. Unfortunately, hits some Buckeye players, but nice punt. It's going to be inside. It's going to be at the 21, looks like. Nice punt.
And I'm glad that the Buckeyes, first punt of the night, but I'm glad the Buckeyes got a chance to kind of work on that. Obviously, that's a 4th down that we could have gone for, but not interested, and very interested in doing things when you do to get ready for next week.
They don't want to rack up the score,
And Jeff, it's I can't tell you how excited I am about next week's game. It is going to be an absolute war. And here's the important part, because the number 2 team seed from the Carthage district is playing the number 3 team seed from our district. So you got Athens and Carthage in the southern district. You got Pleasant Grove and Gilmer in the northern district. Van, who creeps up, by the way, Van is getting slaughtered tonight by Pleasant Grove. 42-0 was the score at halftime. So the Van Vandals, which really we were kind of their Super Bowl, and it was a absolute track meet. Fumble.
Got a fumble. The Buckeyes are going to get the ball back, and they're saying his knee hit the ground.
But we'll watch the replay here, and I don't think the replay matters.
Yeah, they just got a hand in there and forced the fumble.
Oh, they're saying our knee was down. Okay, I was about to say.
Our knee.
I thought they were saying the running back's knee was down. Like, wait a minute.
We couldn't advance the ball. His knee was down when he picked it up.
Yeah.
But the Buckeyes do get the ball back, so that worked out. Second turnover of the night for North Lamar.
Yeah, but Jeff, as we're talking about next week in Athens, this is a matchup that probably could be a quarterfinal game in the state in terms of the you got 2 of the top 5 teams in the state that are going to match up. You remember all the way back in 2006 when the Gilmer Buckeyes played the Liberty Islo Leopards. And Liberty Islo with, LaMichael James. And
don't remind me of that game.
And
that was one of the hardest losses, if not the hardest loss for me in these 23 years.
Yeah, since the turn of the century for the Buckeyes for sure. And you had so many. I mean, you had basically 8 professional athletes that went on that were playing in that game that night, and just unbelievable that was a by-district contest. You really thought that the winner of that game is going to march on to the state championship, and Liberty Islo certainly did with their talented group of guys. 3 turnovers by the Buckeyes that night didn't help things.
We were it was either going to be us win state or them win state.
Yeah, and by district. And this is one of those contests that's coming up against Athens. Just tell Buckeye fans that are out there. First of all, you are going to see things from the Buckeyes that you have not seen all season when you get to that game. You are going to see wrinkles that you have not seen all season when you get to that game. And the Buckeyes are going to approach it as Thomas. Excuse me, that's not Thomas. That is a new running back, and I think a youngster there.
Yeah, that's number 31 for the Buckeyes. That is Williams. Samuel Williams. And he is a senior.
Yeah, you can see the seniors getting a chance to play on the last opportunity here on Jeff Traylor Stadium, their last home game. But, Jeff, you go back to Athens, and this is one of those games. I mean, the winner of that game is instantly going to become the favorite to march through the next 3 rounds and to square off against the winner, likely between Carthage and Pleasant Grove. That is reminiscent of the Buckeyes' path in 2023. Once again, Williams charging forward, and he's out at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, they got to give it to him again. Let him get a score.
Yeah, keep feeding that boy the ball.
Keep feeding Williams the ball, Coach. Give that man the ball. And watch him. He lays that shoulder into him.
Once again,
spins out, keeps his feet.
Gage Trosbach doing a great job blocking downfield. 1st and goal from the 4. See if we keep feeding the monster here. get Williams a touchdown on senior night. Here comes pressure. He's got it straight ahead, and the Buckeyes pushing down to the 1 yard line.
Yeah, he got down to the 1. They'll hand it to him this time. He'll get him a touchdown.
But, Jeff, next week is going to be really telling because all the season matters not next week. I mean, not one single game that the Buckeyes have played this year makes any difference because it's a one-game season from here on in. As Coach Strader used to tell us, hey, it's survive and advance. That's all that matters is survive and advance. And if the Buckeyes are to survive the Athens Hornets, they got a good chance to advance a long way. Here's Williams once again, and he is going to get pushed in. No, he's down to the half-yard line. They're going to make him earn it, Jeff.
He's like at the line right here. At the line. And he's got 3rd and less than 1.
Yeah,
just keep feeding him.
I would say that it's pretty good odds that, but I tell you what, if on 3rd down and going from the 1 after this entire drive has been number 31, I think this is would be your 6th carry of the drive. If Carter pulls it and scores himself, we might have a fifth spot in the end zone. Touchdown,
there
Williams.
It is. Look at the Buckeyes on the sideline. Everybody going nuts for Williams. They are super happy for him. And watch as he comes over. Down there, led by Charles, of course. And that's what you like to see right there. Look at there. That's what Friday. That's why I'm here on Friday nights, right there. You're looking at
right, baby.
That is what you're looking at right there. That's why I come.
Senior that has worked hard for 6 straight years and gets a touchdown to cap off his career here in Jeff Traylor Stadium.
Fumble the football. And so that will not be. They're not going to be able to put 50 up there at this time. It's 49-0 Gilmer. That's the end of the 3rd quarter, and we'll be right back after these messages for the 4th quarter.
Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
And we had an offsides penalty, so we will bring it back here and see if we can put up 50. There's the kick. It is up, and it is good. And, yes, Jeff, deja vu. We get a second chance at it, and the Buckeyes put up 50 tonight. Now we will go back to our sponsors at the end of the 3rd quarter and have a 4th quarter probably running clock 50-0. Buckeyes take care of business tonight here. We'll be right back.
Since 1900, our customers have relied on and placed their trust in First National Bank of East Texas. Today, we remain committed to earning that trust and serving the needs of families and businesses throughout East Texas. Because time never stands still, you can depend on us to meet the changing needs of future generations for the next 125 years. You can bank on that. First National Bank of East Texas.
All right. Back to the action here, Jeff Traylor Stadium. We're starting the 4th quarter. We're all talking about in the press box what our favorite game was. So Eric says that Cuero 09, was that 09?
2009 championship game.
A lot of people think that.
Yeah, that was the semifinal game.
Todd, you said the Gladewater game in 14.
14.
That was where they stopped him by 2 inches. And was able to carry on and beat Gladewater there in Longview by 2 inches. And nice return here by North Lamar on the right side. Finally knocked out of bounds. Nice shot there. And then I think one of the best ones I saw was Kilgore here in Gilmer for the district championship. They went down to the north end zone last seconds of the hard-fought football game. They throw a pass in the end zone. If they catch it, they win. And at the last second, and win the district championship. Dylan Bowman, my son-in-law now, bats down the ball, just reaches out, fingertips it, knocks the ball down, and the Gilmer wins the district championship.
How about this one? District championship on the line down here in this end zone. Luke Turner, he has a quarterback keeper and literally leaves his foot at the 2-yard line, breaks his ankle, scoring the winning touchdown to win us the district championship.
Yep.
And two of my favorites, number one was the 2003, that was the
Atlanta
area district, not Atlanta. It was the game that we played before that against Salina. And Salina had 9 state championship trophies. And I remember pulling up with Matt Camp into the parking lot, getting there early, and they had the trailer. And the trailer was all decked out in what was new technology then called vinyl wrapping. And they had all the state championship trophies that were there. And, of course, the Buckeyes, this is the deepest that they had played in really 20 years in the playoffs. And to say that we left a mark on the Salina Bobcats that night is an understatement.
It's kind of where it all started, actually.
It's really
right
what sprungboard us.
Yeah.
Now,
There's another game.
We had to play in Atlanta the next week, and that was the furthest that the Buckeyes had ever played, and wound up losing that game. And
it was over in Mount Pleasant, I think.
Yeah, and then came back the next year to win the state championship. Really, Coach Traylor had warned us in 2000. He said, look, here's how it's going to look, guys. It's going to take us 4 years. And it did exactly that, exactly as he predicted.
All right, I'll give you one. 05, I think, or 06. Gilmer versus Canton, 119 points between the two scores. Canton ended up winning it because they got 4 onside kicks in a row, which I've never seen done, and come back from way behind to beat the Buckeyes.
Well, let me correct you there. That was the Gilmer Buckeyes versus G.J. Kinney and Houston Tominello.
Yes, that's true.
Who, to end their high school careers, were Gilmer Buckeyes.
Yeah.
One being G.J. Kinney, now the head coach at Texas State. Boy, that band is blaring over there. Can't hear myself think, as that is the combined bands there in Gilmer making a lot of noise. But G.J. and Houston, G.J. I think at the time wound up being the 4th leading passing quarterback in Texas football state history. And Houston Tominello is still the top-ranked receiver in Texas football history in terms of yards, catches, and touchdowns. So both those guys in their careers as Gilmer Buckeyes. So they're uniquely tied into our Buckeye story.
Yeah, so there's been some great football over the years that we've watched.
I'll tell you, Jeff, the best 2 games that I've ever seen a Gilmer Buckeye team play was the 2014 game against Salina. That was a 63-something spanking that we gave Salina. It wouldn't matter if we played the Dallas Cowboys that night. That team, Chris Boyd and that group, absolutely on fire. I remember the pads popping, and then of course the 2009 state championship game where we played the number 1 defense in the state, and Stump Godfrey and the Buckeyes just absolutely took them apart there at Ford Stadium at SMU to win the 2009 state championship. Those are probably 2 of the best executed games of guys that I saw in orange and black. When I looked at a high school football game and said, it doesn't matter who we're playing today. We're winning, boys.
Yeah, it's funny because you would think we would say like Jasper, our first state championship or something like that.
I'm still glad we won that game.
The 2009 championship where we came back from behind.
No, 2014.
14 we were behind and came back to win that game. That was a good one as well.
Thank you, Robert Barrow.
Yeah, so all of these coaches and players, handoff once again left side, all these coaches and players over the years that have entertained fans and went out and fought for their school and the pride and the cheerleaders and the band, which you can really hear, like you said right now, and drill team, the majorettes, all the students that participate. That's why I love football. That's the thing that the most students get involved with, and the community comes out and supports them. And you know, you tell people, hey, yeah, we're a town of 5,000 and we usually have 6,000 at a game. You know, how do you figure that, right? Heavy pressure by the Buckeyes. Sets up a little screen. And North Lamar working down inside the 10-yard line, probably the first time tonight.
And a whole lot of youngsters out there, by the way, for the Buckeye defense right now. Running clock under 7 minutes to play in this game. Buckeyes have it well in hand. Want to avoid any last-minute injuries, but really, folks, looking forward to next week. This is going to be the entire season and what you do this for. And the Buckeyes peaking at the right time, Jeff. I said last week and then during the coaches show, nobody wants to see the Buckeyes coming, least of which is going to be the Athens Hornets when they turn on this game and think, oh my gosh, you can throw the record out the window because the Gilmer Buckeyes are still the Gilmer Buckeyes, and the Athens Hornets, they've got a tall challenge, and so did the Buckeyes. Both of those teams, if the winner of that game, you can look to have kind of the rematch against the winner between Carthage and Pleasant Grove here as the season comes to.
Yeah, I want to call out to number 84, Gabriel Moulton, who had that extra point attempt that we watched earlier.
Yes, lefty.
They had a bad snap, snap, and he was able to still get it to the uprights to put us at that number 50 mark. I just got a text from Josiah again. I'm trying to work my way back into his good graces. So congratulations, Gabriel. And that's offsides on the Buckeyes. They're going for the corner of the end zone again, and then we got two flags. One's going to be offsides, and one's going to be pass interference. That's going to move them half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, just blitz was coming, and we just didn't time it up right. And but good play there by 3, but he's going to be called for a pass interference. So that's the penalty. You called it correctly, Jeff, that they will take is the interference penalty, which will put North Lamar first and goal from the 4. And so, boy, the Buckeye black flag defense would dearly love to put up a goose egg here. Ball spotted at the 2. So 2-yard line, and Big Davion King will come into the ball game. It's Mike Camara saying, let me have some of the goose egg, and Coach Staff saying, no, you come goose egg yourself right over here on the sideline. We got Athens next week, and that young man will have a lot of work to do next Friday night.
Yeah, and I know it's wrong, and I'm going to get some mail for this, but I hope these guys get in the end zone and get some scores. They've had a rough season. They deserve a good score, and they do.
There it is.
There's the touchdown. I'm sorry, Buckeye fans. I'm rooting for kids, period. I want the Buckeyes to always come out on top, but I'm rooting for every kid on the field. And so good for them getting a score here tonight against the Buckeyes. It's a long bus ride home when you got a goose egg, man.
Hey, it's a long bus ride home to North Lamar, no matter how you how many points you scored or didn't.
It is.
It's a long bus ride.
At least they didn't get skunked.
I would be counting the Whataburgers between here and there and stopping at every one because those guys, all 25 of them, have earned probably every strawberry milkshake between here and Paris, Texas.
Yeah, this is a long season. The fact that they're still here playing, hey, man, my hat's off to them.
Absolutely.
Coach Metzel said at the coaches' lunch that every film that he's seen of them, they play their hearts out every game. And tonight's not different.
They did. They played every snap, every down. I'm impressed with them. They've had a rough season. They're going to go a winless season, 0-10. That's hard, on your confidence, and it makes you want to quit. And look at them, they're still here. They knew coming into this game they couldn't beat the Buckeyes, and they drove all the way over here and played every down. And so good for them for getting a score on the board. I'm happy for them.
And congratulations to the band. Hey, we've all been in those situations, Jeff. I have a flashback to Coach Jackson in Spring Hill when we were sitting there at 2 a.m. sleeping, going,
Spring Hill,
hey, we got transportation issues in the middle of the night, and they broke down on their bus on the way over here.
I know, and we were only in Spring Hill.
Yeah, we could have walked.
It was like remember a fight broke out.
That's right. And we lost the keys to
everybody,
the bus.
And Coach Jackson, trying to break up the fight, lost the keys to the bus. And clearly somebody from the other side picked up the keys and took them because we had no bus keys.
We had to go home, get another bus, come get us. And it's a good time, Jeff, as things end to recognize, we got, Coach Bill's grandson out here, Solly Jackson, playing, and how much we miss Coach Bill and how much we miss Coach Jackson, and so many great Buckeye fans. You think of Charles Holmes that we lost this year, and as the years go by, how important community and this Buckeye team, provides for the community. And so when we think about all those guys that we've lost, especially this year, and all those great times that they've been a part of that. It just makes you grateful to live in the town that we live in, and we got each other, and taking care of people, and I'm just grateful. Grateful that we get to raise our kids in a place where, at the end of the day, this matters. Friday night matters. Friday night lights, known all over the world in terms of the experience that it is, and as you said early in the show, Jeff, there's nothing like it.
No, this is what brings me back year after year, and love these coaches, love the players, the teachers, the administrators. Just got a great town. My job takes me just like yours, takes you all over the world, and it doesn't matter. I mean, I was gone for 2 weeks in a row, and when I pull into that city limit sign and see that Gilmer city limit sign, it's just, there's something special about it. Yeah, well, and then I see the LaFinca sign after that, and then I know I'm home. And there's no place like Gilmer, Texas. I work in Fort Worth, and I have an apartment there, but there is no place like Gilmer. People ask me, why don't you just move there? I'm like, because I live in paradise.
Oh, wow.
It's a great place. Why would you go mess with that when you got this?
And Friday nights, and I'll tell you, Jeff, next Friday night is going to be one of those nights that we're telling stories about. I'm telling you.
Oh, that's going to be a battle next Friday night,
It is going to be something.
Yeah, you talk about, if you like football, come out and watch. Breaking one down the sideline, cuts back inside, still on his feet across the 30, out to the 25.
Yeah, that's number 15, Jeff. That's Cosman Johnson. He is the junior wide receiver, and another guy that is getting healthy right at the right time. And you can see a lot of these guys, Jeff, the only thing they lack is experience. Talent is not the issue. It's just experience. And, we go into next week, Jeff, and the records don't matter. Nothing matters. The seeding doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is you got to beat the team in front of you, which means that first you got to beat the team in the mirror. That's what this coaching staff's been preaching basically since district play started. And I tell you what, sometimes you got to be not just good, but you got to be good at the right time. You got to be lucky. And the winner of next week's game is going to be very lucky in terms of their seeding.
Look at Williams.
As Williams takes this all the way down inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, nice run there by Williams.
Not bad for your third-string running back. But, I mean, it's the winner of next week's game, and people have asked me, what does it look like? And, is this going to be, an early exit for the Buckeyes? We could very well be sitting here a month from now saying deja vu all over again from 2023, because this Buckeye team has all the ingredients.
Well, it's going to matter what happens next Friday night.
Oh, it's going to tell the tale.
If you make it through next Friday night, you got a good chance of playing in round 4.
That's exactly right. And playing either, once again, you're playing for the state championship or the eventual state championship.
Well, you're going to be playing Carthage, who will beat Pleasant Grove by in the 3rd round again. That will be deja vu all over again.
Well, tonight's score 50-7 as the Buckeyes run out the clock. And join us next week from Henderson, Texas, as it is going to be all the marbles, one-game season, as the Gilmer Buckeyes will take on the Athens Hornets. And just a prelude, folks, and a preview, the quarterback for Athens is all that and a bag of chips. And we will be able to see if the Buckeye Black Flag's got something for them, and if the offense can go blow for blow with the powerful Athens Hornets next week. If they can, look out, because once again, here come the Buckeyes. So for myself, Todd Robinson, the voice of the Buckeyes, Mr. Jeff Rash, we will see you next week live from Henderson. Buckeyes win 50-7. Playoffs start next week, folks. Everybody's 0-0. It's win or go home. It's a one-game season from here on out. So need the Buckeye Army to travel. Join us next week, 7:30 kickoff in Henderson. And, of course, you can join us on the YouTube channel. Thanks to all of our sponsors. And for senior night, we say thanks to all of our great parents and seniors who've given us so much of themselves over the last 6 years in all the programs. Congratulations to the 2025 state champion Gilmer Buckeye Band, and we will see them next week as well. 50-7 your final score.